Hello guys, good morning. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the world of rice plant. Guys, in this video, you will be able to identify the specific parts of a rice plant. And just a disclaimer, all the information presented in this video were actually just borrowed from the internet. But of course, the experiences of mine are also integrated. And this is the primary source of information. And guys, before you continue to watch this video, and if you are new to my channel, kindly subscribe and click the notification bell so that you will be updated with my upcoming videos. And if you will like this video, kindly share it to your classmates and others. Okay? Alright. Um, Let us start. Um, Rice plant is a semi-aquatic plant. Considered to be cereal herb of Gramineae family that grows and germinates best in clayey soil with a regular water supply. The Gramineae family also includes other major cereal like corn, wheat, and barley. And among these three, rice is the third most cultivated crop in the world after wheat and corn. About 90% of rice is grown and consumed in Asia. It is the staple food of half of the world population, that is 3.1 billion people. Rice is an annual plant. That means it grows and dies in one season or year, which is first raised up from seedling uh, to um, ripening phase or stage. They have vegetative, reproductive, and ripening phase. And in the last stage, grains turned into golden yellow color, and of course they are harvested for human consumption. And in terms of classification of uh, rice plant belongs to kingdom Plantae, subkingdom Tracheobionta, division Magnoliophyta, class Leliopsida, orders Cyperalis, family Poraceae, and of course Graminae, and we have the Oryza. The rice genus Oryza has 24 species. Among these 24 species, 22 species belongs to wild, and the remaining two species are widely cultivated all around the world. The two species of rice that are cultivated in the world are Oryza sativa, of course in Asia, and the Oryza gablerrima in Africa. The common scientific name of rice is Oryza sativa. The seed is that part of rice plant which is processed and consumed by the people in our daily life. Rice grain is dry seed which fall under Caryopsis, pericarp used with seed coat, and the entire grain is covered with husk or hull and is 5 to 7 millimeter in length. The use of rice grain for consumptions, um, the outer inedible husk should be removed by milling process. The husk or hull of rice grain consists of 5 parts, namely the lima, the palilla, the on, the raquilla, and the sterilimas, and it consists of 20% of the total weight of the grain. And in other slide or slides, this will be introduced. Okay. To grow seedling from rice grain or seed, of course, it is shown with its husk. All right. Let us proceed now to the basic parts of rice. We have the roots, then the leaves, and the leaves constitute the leaf sheath and the leaf blade. Then we have also the stem, and the term for the stem of a rice plant or rice is the culm. And we have also the panicle. This is the inflorescence of rice or the flowers of rice, the panicles or the panicle. Now, what about the root and shoot system? When the seed of rice is planted, then the process of formation of roots starts, and it has two types of roots: the primary roots and the secondary roots. The primary roots are embryonic roots which develops from coleorrhiza. This is primary root and persists only during a short period of time after germination. The primary root of rice is also called as seminal root and is partially branched. And you will notice here in this image that there's an ordinary root, or there are ordinary roots, mat roots, collectively known as the crown roots. That's indicative of this being called seminal roots. And the secondary roots, after some period of time, roots starts developing from the node near to the soil surface. These roots are called nodal roots. Here there's and here there's a node here, and of course there are roots. They are considered as secondary roots. The nodal roots develops and forms fibrous adventitious root system and completely replace the primary root. O kaya nga, that's the reason why it look like this. The nodal roots are adjacent to the soil and does not go much deeper into the soil. That is why there might be a problem of lodging in tall varieties of rice if there's no proper drainage of water. And as time passes, some adventitious roots also develops and the upper nodal region. So there are adventitious roots which will be developed. For instance, in this node, there will be nodal roots which will be developed, or there will be adventitious roots which will be developed. And of course, the functions of the roots helps rice plant to stand erect and absorb water and minerals. Now, with respect to the shoot system of rice plant develops from coleoptile plumule with sheath and consists of the culm. The stem is actually the culm. The leaves is one. The panicle, which will be later introduce to you, and of course the spikelet in the individual grain. Now, the calm is a stem of rice, and actually is a long cylindrical hollow stem with alternating nodes and internodes. So this stem consists of the node, and the internode. And the node of the calm has a lip and a bud. The node which is at the ground level starts forming new tailors. This is the new tailor, and the tailor is a new shoot, which will later grow and develop into a rice plant. The final production of rice plant also depends on the tailoring capacity. Now, the tailoring capacity of rice pertains to the capacity of the rice plant to produce tailors. So there are some cases wherein a rice plant produce many tailors. So if that would be the case, there will be more production which will be harvested by the farmer. The internode of the calm is hollow from inside while the node is solid. The calm is smooth and length of its internode increases as we go upward. And the function of the uh, calm is to support rice plant and helps to transport minerals and water absorbed by the roots to upper parts. And the leaves, this one, the leaves, develops from its base or its internode of the calm. They are alternate, this one, then the other one, then another one. And opposite in position, and only one leaf emerges from one node. This special leaf just beneath the panicle of rice is called the plug leaf. Later you will know what is plug leaf. This is actually the last leaf before the panicle emerges, which plays a great role in photosynthesis. As leaf emerges from a node, its sheath or the lip sheath, this one, this one is the lip sheath, this is the lip blade. The lip sheath covers the internode and grows forward. Just above the node, for instance, this one, above the node, and at the base of the lip sheath, at the base of the lip sheath, there's a swelling which is frequently misrecognized as a node. Is called sheath pulvinus. We cannot see here the sheath pulvinus. The leaf of rice contains the lip blade, this one, the lip blade. Then the sheath along with special parts like uh, of special part of rice plant called the ligule. This is the ligule, ano? And of course, this is the auricle. The auricle, this one, is a pair of small air-like appendage situated at the base of the leaf. It's not actually leaf, really, it's leaf blade. And the ligule is a peripheral triangular structure situated above the auricle. This one, this is the auricle. This is the, no, the ligule above the auricle. And the function of the leaves are considered to be the main source of photosynthesis, which helps to make food. Let's proceed to the panicle. This is an image of a panicle, and this one is what we call as the plug leaf. Then the uppermost internode, the panicle base, the primary branch, the panicle axis, uh, of course, the spikelet and the pedicel. The panicle is the most important part of rice as it determines the total grain production. Panicles are flowers of rice actually. In scientific term, panicles or panicles are consist of several spikelets which are situated at the top end of the culm or stem. So this is the panicle. The panicle is connected to the the culm by panicle base. This one, this is the panicle base, which is also called the neck. Panicle is furtherly divided into primary branch and secondary branch. This one and this one. All these branches bears spikelets. And the function of the panicle is to hold the spikelets which are filled uh, with of course um, the food coming from the soil and during the process of photosynthesis. Okay. Now, with regards to the spikelet, this is a complete structure of the spikelet. The spikelet is a structure of rice plant which contains the floret or grain and of course the pedicel. If this will or if this is closed, this is the grain or the floret and this is the pedicel. The pedicel is responsible in holding the floret. The floret is consist of the lima and palea and flowers. Actually, in other plants, this can be considered as the petals. The lima and palea are outer hard covering. This is the outer hard covering. The flower of rice is consist of the pistil and the stamen. This is the pistil consisting of the stigma, the style, and the ovary. And when there will be fertilization process and it's successful, the 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 ovary wherein the ovule are present, the ovule grows, and that is the reason why the grain will be filled, and of course the starch and other um, not the riens. So the male flower is consist of the the anther and the filament. Okay, this consists of the filament, and of course the anther has several pollen grain or pollen grains, and its pollen grain or its pollen has this what we call male germ cell. And of course, the spikelets or the grain of rice will not be filled with the endosperm, the cotyledon, if there will be no pollination and fertilization process. The pollination process, of course, very basic. This is the transfer of pollen grain from the anther of a male flower to the uh, female flower. So whatever means uh, will be used, whether it's by nature, insects, or just fall of gravity. But it's the transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma of the female flower. And once the uh, pollen grain meets or fall in the stigma, the pollen grain containing the male germ cell actually will travel from the stigma to through the style to the ovary wherein the ovule is located. And after the fertilization process, the lima and palea will be closed, and the spikelet will grow, meaning the ovule will grow, and that is the reason why we are considering as the seed is immature ovule. So it's really the mature ovule after the fertilization. Okay, so this is how the spikelet or grain of rice is being formed through the process of pollination and fertilization. And of course, mm, there are other parts of the spikelet. We have the own, then rudimentary glues, the sterile lemma. The sterile lemma are actually lemmas are actually white in color, and it can be found at the base of the lima and palea. And of course, kung baga If this will be compared to other plants, to me, I consider this as the disciples. All right. So these are all about for this morning. Thank you very much for watching this video lecture. I hope I was able to contribute a lot to your stock of knowledge relative to the morphology of the rice plant. God bless you and always keep safe.